Hey guys, Zyloch here with my first Paragon video. Paragon is a new MOBA from Epic Games that is currently in early access. It is playable on PC and PlayStation 4. If you do have either of those platforms, I highly recommend this game. Even for being in early access, the gameplay is solid, it feels really good. As you can see from the footage, it looks beautiful as well. It is a MOBA. For those of you new to the genre, if you've never tried before, this is a genre that is highly team-oriented and based on precision, strategy, momentum. And as someone who a couple years ago played my first MOBA, when I first tried, it was very, very challenging. There was a lot to learn. It can be a little bit overwhelming. And the thing is, it takes a while to learn all of that stuff. So the first couple times I played this type of game, I did nothing but die, and I didn't really understand why. But once I figured things out, it was really, really enjoyable, and I started having a lot of fun with this genre. So I want to give you guys 5 tips for beginners that are new to MOBAs. The first one being absolutely communicate. As I said, this is a team-oriented game, so you have got to communicate with your teammates. It's really important to know who's doing what and when. There's been a lot of times where I've seen somebody, go in against a group of 3 because they had somebody by them, and they end up going in by themselves and dying because they didn't let the team know, hey, I'm going in, let's fight. So for the PC users, it is going to be probably a little bit easier because there's actually an in-game chat feature where you can just type. PS4, you have sort of a quick phrase or ping system where you can say, attack, defend, move here, move there. Little phrases that are important, but either way, whatever platform you're playing on, definitely use those functions because it's important to let your team know what's going on. Another thing is to know your current situation. These type of games are really, really based on momentum. If you get a lead early, you can really kind of push your advantage and pick fights, set the tone for the match. However, if you're unlucky and you get a little bit behind early, you do not want to be running in and starting fights. This is not your typical run and gun type game where you can die, respawn, run back into combat. You definitely don't want to take the Call of Duty approach, #360 #NoScope. You want to be smart about things. If you're a little bit behind, focus on farming your minions, get some points, go back to base, get some items, come back, and you might have a little bit more of an impact. So always kind of know where you stand with respect to the rest of your team and your enemies. Another thing is to always be helpful. This is a game where objectives are going to be really important, and you need your team to either defend or to take objectives. One example I can give is if the enemy team is grouped up, all 5 of them are attacking your base, you probably want to be defending with the rest of your team. You don't want to be off on your own in the middle of the map somewhere, attacking some minions or some jungle camps or something like that, because the enemy's most likely is going to steamroll you. So you being off on your own is not necessarily helpful. You want to go where the action is, see what the team needs, and adjust your playstyle accordingly. Another thing that sort of goes along with that last point is to focus on objectives over kills. I've seen plenty of games, and I've even had games myself where I'm 10-0, I'm steamrolling, I'm thinking, okay, this game is ours, there's no way we're going to lose this game. And we do end up losing. Why? Because we didn't focus on objectives. Our teamwork wasn't there, and with this type of game, it really is more so based on which is the better team, not so much which team has the player with the best individual skill. So no matter how awesome you might be doing on your own, it's important to translate that momentum and that lead into objectives and something that can work for your team, because ultimately that's what's going to get you the win. The last thing, and the thing I want to stress the absolute most, is to always, always stay positive. If things are looking a little rough, people are dying on your team, it does not help them or really help yourself to say, oh man, stop dying, you're awful, you suck, you're such a noob. That kind of stuff is only going to bring down team morale, piss people off, and ultimately it's going to make yours and everyone else's experience less enjoyable. So why would you focus on stuff like that? Think about what you can do to help the team. Say, okay guys, that was a bad fight, we lost this tower, let's group up, let's do this, let's get this done. Also, kind of be receptive to feedback. If you're not doing so well and somebody on your team is, they might say, hey, you know, try this or try that. It may not be that they're trying to criticize you, but it may just be that they really are trying to help and keep a positive attitude to ultimately win the game. So again, stay positive. No matter how bad things are, the enemy could make a mistake, and sometimes that's all it takes to turn the game around and ultimately pick up a win. So those are my 5 tips for beginners new to MOBAs. Those are some things that will definitely help you when you're playing Paragon. I hope those things prove to be helpful. Again, pick up the game. You still have a couple days to sign up for the open beta weekend, which is coming up. So it gives you a couple of days to try out the game. If you do want to pick it up after that, there's some starter packs. I'll leave a link in the description below. But other than that, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I do plan on releasing more Paragon content. I'm going to do some hero-specific guides as well as some deck building and item building tips that hopefully will help you master each individual hero. So be on the lookout for that. Like, subscribe, share with your friends, and again, hopefully this was helpful for you. Thank you guys for watching, and happy gaming.